Long before France and Britain got their colonial groove on, Portugal was already out here with maps, ships, and a disturbing obsession with spices and strangers' coastlines. It all started in the early 1400s. While the rest of Europe was still recovering from the Black Death and figuring out forks, Portugal, small, scrappy, and ambitious, looked at the Atlantic Ocean and said, "Let's go ruin someone else's day." Led by Prince Henry the Navigator, who ironically never navigated anything, Portugal began sailing down the west coast of Africa. At first, it was about exploration. Then it became about trade. Then it became about slavery, real fast. By the 1440s, Portugal was capturing and selling Africans like it was a startup, and they were just getting started. By the late 1400s, Portugal reached India because why not skip over everyone else's land and claim stuff no one asked them to? Vasco da Gama showed up in Calicut with guns, Christian zeal, and zero chill. He demanded trading rights and left cannonballs behind when negotiations didn't go his way. Subtle diplomacy, Portuguese style. Then came the real chaos. Goa, Brazil, Angola, Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau, Timor, Macau, Cape Verde, São Tomé, parts of Sri Lanka. If it had a coastline, Portugal was there, waving a flag, setting up a church and asking, "Have you accepted Jesus and our sugar taxes?" Let's talk Brazil, Portugal's crown jewel. Claimed in 1500 by Pedro Álvares Cabral, Brazil became a sugar-powered, slave-fueled mega-colony. Portugal dragged over 4 million enslaved Africans there, more than any other colonial power. And in exchange, they gave Brazil cities with Portuguese names, churches on every hill, and a football addiction. But Portugal wasn't just about conquest. They were about monopolies, especially spice monopolies. In the Indian Ocean, they tried to tax everything that floated. "If it's on water, it's ours," was basically their motto. And if anyone objected, cannons. Now, here's the kicker. Portugal stayed colonizing longer than anyone. While other empires fell in the 1800s and early 1900s, Portugal clung to its African colonies until 1975. Yes, the same year Jaws came out in theaters, Portugal was still trying to run Angola and Mozambique like it was 1600. Why did they hold on so long? Ego, oil, and because they thought people wouldn't notice. Spoiler, they did. The result? Brutal wars of independence. Angola and Mozambique had to literally fight their way out. Meanwhile, the Portuguese government back home collapsed under the weight of its outdated empire dreams. Moral of the story? Just because you're the first to colonize doesn't mean you're good at it. Portugal may have started the empire race, but it also wrote the manual on how not to let go. This has been History Roasted.